Yep, you might have to give up some of the luxuries. Yep, the movies. Yep, you might have to give up some stuff because we're at the end of the year and you don't have a lot of time left. But man, whatever you do, man, keep believing. For real, this your boy E.T., man.
Right, because I believe in that. I was never the biggest, fastest, strongest athlete, but the thing that I had every single day was my intentionality of attitude, spirit, dedication, commitment.
Right? They do better in their careers. I mean, these are physiological, these are measured facts in our society, and yet we poo-poo happiness in our world. Like, oh, it's being enthusiastic or something like that.
And they came back out, man. They came back out in that second half, and I promise you, you know how the story ends. Yeah, they won 28, I think 27. And Alabama only scored once, and that was off of like some crazy mishap, something that happened with Auburn. But let me tell you this, they came back, the defense shut Alabama down. My man Cam Newton came out like they was winning the game, like they had been in the game the whole time and did what he had to do to win it all. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Number one, show up. Stop running, man. Stop running. Stop quitting. Stop giving up. Stop giving in. Not only face the giant, man, go meet the doggone giant. You go get to the giant before the giant get to you. Number two, man, you gotta believe. When you can't see it, you gotta believe it. You gotta call it when all the odds are against you. Are you hear what I'm saying, man? You gotta believe. The last one, the last principle, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. My last principle is this, man. Sometimes in life, you're gonna have to just play through it. That's right.
The things I can control every single day. And when I was sitting in that meeting, man, I got fired up. I had to come off the wall, you know what I'm saying? But it was incredible, man. Just the spirit, the energy, the passion, but also they had fun. Right? They kicked it off with fun. I didn't expect that. I'm gonna be honest. Right? I was sitting there, I'm like, man, they're about to go at it. And they kicked it off with fun. And then he went right into the work. And so it was incredible. Absolutely, man. I think it's incredible when you can infuse fun into what you're doing, but also understanding what fun looks like, right? Because a lot of times people think fun is not being held accountable, right?
Cam Newton, no first downs. 3 and outs. Sometimes in life, man, if you're gonna win, you're gonna have to just learn to play through it. Play through the what? Play through the disappointments, because it's gonna be some. Let me tell you something about life, bruh, seriously. That if you're gonna be successful in life, it's gonna be a whole lot of failures between starting and success. It's gonna be a whole lot of failure in between. And what you gotta do is learn to play through, listen to me, the haters, play through it. Don't listen to it. You can't spend your time worrying about the failures. You can't spend your time worrying about the mistakes. Like, if you sit there worrying about the mistakes all day, guess what? You take away time, you take away energy from doing what you're supposed to do. If you listen to your haters, right, you paying attention to your haters. Like, while you giving them energy, you not going where you're supposed to be going. So while the crowd, Auburn, is making all kind of noise, Cam, 21-0, 24-7, Cam playing through it. As if it doesn't exist, as if Auburn is the only one in the stadium, as if the Alabama fans aren't there, as if the defense isn't there, as if nobody's there. They just playing through it.
Not being held to a certain standard, not having to raise the level of competition. People think that's not fun. That is fun, right? Winning is fun. Dedication, commitment is fun. Coming in every single day, knowing what you're working for is fun. And so not missing the message, not diminishing the message and thinking fun is just happy-go-lucky, but also understanding that fun is process. Fun is coming in, being detail-oriented. Fun is being great at what you do every single day and coming and putting forth a level of excellence. That's fun. Yeah, I think that's what perspective is, right? If you only maintain perspective through when things are going well, is it really perspective, right? If you only maintain perspective through the highs, is it really perspective? I think part of what makes perspective so important is, can you keep and can you gain perspective in the midst of opposition and adversity, right?
So guess what, man? My man 12-0, looking at a possibility of winning the Heisman Trophy, looking at the possibility of winning the national championship. Why? Simple, because he showed up. And when things look bleak, when things look dark, he believed. He believed in the dark. He believed in the dark what the Creator told him in the light. So even though it looked dark, he still played. My final one, he played through it. You gotta learn to play through it. Yep, you're gonna have to stay up late. You heard me say before, you're gonna have to want it as bad as you wanna breathe. You're gonna have to give up some sleep. Yep, you might only get 3-4 hours. It's finals time. We're getting ready for final exam. Yep, you might have to give up some TV.
No, it's being inspired, in spirit, feeling alive. So what I did was, is as much energy or passion I had before, I still had that, but what I found was what was the stuff that would suck away that energy? And so now to answer your question, how would I know? Number one, I put the line in the sand and said, these are the ones I tend to drop into. I'm not doing it anymore. And if I find it, I made a rule. I got 90 seconds to get out. As I did it more and more, it's like a muscle. And when you use a muscle over and over again, it works. It's there for you. And so how I know, to answer your question, a long way to answer your question, but without that, I don't think people understand what we're talking about, is I sense tension in my body. Like when you're in a beautiful state, things flow. When there's a tension, you can feel it in your face, your head. Somebody says something, somebody didn't do something, somebody used a certain term, you dropped something out, or you did something, or you should have done.
The people who make this training are the people who can say in their mind, roger that. So if the instructor were to tell me, hey, David, jump in that water, do sugar cookies, do 1,000 push-ups, I can think about it because it sounds real stupid. You know, you think about it, you know what, I'm not doing this, going home, taking a hot shower, drinking some coffee, getting a nice donut, and I'm going to be comfortable. So when you do too much, you become very weak. You think it's good, but sometimes it's bad. So I came up with this slogan of the roger that mentality. The roger that mentality, when somebody says do something, you just do it. You don't think about it, you say roger that, you don't overthink it. Before you know it, that task is done. You go on with your life and you overthink it and you become very successful. Roger that. I want to be a SEAL. So I did it. Become obsessed with being great.
Whenever that happens, there's a tension. And so I've really trained myself to feel that tension. And when I feel, I go 90 seconds. And it's a game now. 90 seconds. And since I value that happiness so much, not like a deluded person, I'm so happy. Like I value being in a beautiful state because it may not be happy. It may be driven. It may be courageous. It may be feeling bold. It may be love. It may be compassion for someone else or even myself. I always have compassion for other people. I didn't have it for myself.
Right.
And so what I began to do is realize, holy cow, this is something that could change everything. And so that 90-second rule, I feel the tension, and then here's what I do. I know that it's triggered by one of three language patterns as a trigger, as an example. Loss, less, never. If you perceive that someone you're counting on, they failed to do something, or they failed to say something, or you failed to do something, or say something you should have.
Learn about your strengths and your weaknesses. Learn about strategy and tactics. Learn about fear and hesitation. Learn about human nature. And learn about yourself. Test yourself. Find out who you are. Find out where fear and hesitation might cause you back down or to fall short. Learn and understand yourself so you can overcome and conquer the limitations of your natural instincts and replace them with the will